We'll start by having the Pledge of Allegiance, and with Mr. Miller gone tonight, I'll just lead the pledge.
Okay.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before you return to your seat, I'd like to have just a moment of silence for Judy Castle, who was a teacher here for 37 years that passed away. So if we could have just a moment of silence for Judy, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Take your seats. I never had her for a teacher, but she sure touched a lot of kids. I did work with her as a colleague, but she touched a lot of people. Did you have her for a teacher, Kelly?
I did not, my brother did.
Did you, Tim?
I
think she taught like advanced English, so I was never a candidate. Well, actually, she wasn't there.
Then I didn't.
She wasn't a teacher there when I was a student, because she was on maternity leave with her 2 kids. She took some time off, but good person.
Yeah.
Okay, we have good news, which we are going to skip because of Matthew Hilton's not being here, so I'm going to go on to public comment. Do we have any public comment this evening? Anybody would like to speak? You would? Okay, I need to read my blurb then. Give me 1 second.
Please.
In accordance with the Open Meeting Act of 1986, the board provides opportunity for citizen input during the public comment. Because agendas are full, each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. The board will listen to take comments and questions under advisement and not respond at this time. The presiding officer will refer questions to the superintendent for research and response. All right.
Thank you very much. Neil Hasley, 888 Fedora Drive, Tecumseh, Michigan. 2 items for this afternoon. Number 1, I just wanted to say thank you for what you're doing as board members and the administration staff. It takes a lot of time and energy for preparation, and time is a very precious commodity, and the fact that you're taking time out of your personal lives to do this is really appreciated. Regardless of what your positions are at any given time, that deserves a lot of respect and attention and acknowledging that. So thank you for what you're doing. Second item, more important for me anyway, is your audio system. I really would appreciate and respectfully would ask that you consider trying to put a little bit of emphasis into your audio system here to have a little more volume. While I recognize that 30 plus years in the industrial setting has probably diminished some of my hearing, I would really appreciate if we could find an audio system that you could actually hear your comments and thoughts. I found at the few meetings that I've been at that sometimes it's difficult to follow along. So it's not earth-shaking, and it's not something that requires immediate attention, but it's something that I'm sure the community would appreciate. So a small assignment from your community, and I thank you again for all of your time and what you're doing for the community. It's much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, I was contemplating this.
Go ahead.
You know, I guess I can address that from this point of view. That has been talked about by Superintendent Hilton and myself. It was something he was looking into, but with no budget approved at this point, it's just on hold. We still have no approved budget from the state of Michigan. It was, so before he started taking, he had asked some companies for quotes and then just said, let's just wait until we figure out what we have to spend.
Okay.
All right, but that's, to be honest, well, to be honest with you, when Mrs. McGee talks, I feel like I need an ear horn, because I grew up on a farm, worked in industrial area. I don't hear very well, and I'm old, so I don't hear very well, but if they don't, and she and others, if you're not right into the mic, you don't hear it very well. But it's a valid point, no one we're aware of. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, on to revisions and approval of the agenda. Do we have any revisions for the agenda tonight?
We do have some revisions. We are going to be removing the Board of Education Student Representative Report. Mr. Tucker is unavailable to be with us this evening. And we will also be removing the Superintendent's Report for the MASB Strategic Plan Proposal, as Mr. Hilton is also unavailable this evening.
Okay, it's been Oh, I'm sorry. Do we have any other revisions? Just those two? What's that?
I move to revise the agenda to strike the Board of Education Student Representative report due to Mr. Cole's absence and the superintendent's report due to Mr. Hilton's emergency absence.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to strike the good news from Superintendent Hilton and then also the BOE Student Representative report for tonight. Roll call vote. Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Davis.
Aye.
Trustee McGee.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Okay,
Now I move to approve the agenda as presented for tonight, September 22nd. I'm sorry? As amended, you're right. I forgot to change that word. I move to approve the agenda as amended for tonight, September 22nd, 2025.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda for tonight. Roll call vote. Trustee McGee.
Aye.
Trustee Davis.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye as well. Okay, scheduled reports. Budget Committee, Mr. Simpson.
Yeah, we, excuse me, we met on the 15th and called the meeting to order at 5:03. Talked a lot about the state budget and cash flow impact that it's going to have, so I'm not going to go into a lot of it because Kelly's going to go into it. But from what we're hearing is, and what Kelly's hearing, this gentleman, Doug Newcomb, he's a former superintendent. He deals with a lot of the associations and so forth. And he's expecting the state not to pass the budget until October 3rd, maybe the 15th. That's his gut feeling at this point. But so if that happens, you have to wait after the governor signs it. Everything has to wait for 10 days before they can start issuing payments again. So we could be running into not getting our October payment. So Kelly's going to come up and talk about state aid note. We also discussed that we got a little update on enrollment. Looks like maybe we're about 20 to 25 heads, not FTE, but heads, seats in the butt, up this year. But again, that doesn't convert to FTEs, and we won't know that until I think November. Is that right?
After count in October.
Yeah. So, and then Kelly gave us cash flow projections to review, which there's a link there, you can view it. And then she's going to go over all of that tonight. So, and then we just did the customary check register, cash balances, so forth. So, and adjourned at 5:46.
Any questions for Treasurer Simpson? All right, thank you very much. Monthly financial report, Mrs. Glenn. He teed it up for you.
Yeah.
Nice job. Good evening, Board. In your packet should be the monthly financials for the month of August, as of August 31st, 2025. Cash on hand is $4,174,838.58. Our accounts payable run for that August 1st through August 31st is $932,133.72. And yes, your statement of projected revenue and expenditures is up on the screen there. I will reiterate that you will still note there is no recognized revenue, state revenue, for the month of August because both our July and our August state aid payments belong to the prior fiscal year, which is why you only see $53,000 in local sources. That's very, very small trickle of tax dollars that has come in, local property taxes, and then a small payment from the ISDs, that $26,509 for some grant stuff. So total revenue for the period of July 1st through August 31st is the $79,808. Corresponding expenditures, because we started our fiscal year July 1st, is $2,569,944, which would leave anticipated expenditures greater than anticipated revenue at this point of approximately 2.4 million in the hole, which would take us down to a projected fund balance of 157,000. Again, it's very, very preliminary because again, we've operated at this point 2 months, no recognized revenue. And that's why it's kind of swings and looks goofy at this point in time. Questions on any of the financial reports?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Don't go away.
I'm not. Right here.
We're on to discussion items, and we're gonna discuss the state aid note with your expertise.
Right. So as several people have mentioned already this evening, there is not an official state budget that's been passed and signed and authorized by the governor at this point in time. So no school district, charter school district, or any other knows what budget we're working with. Even though we started July 1, the budget process was due for the state on July 1. They've obviously missed that deadline, and they're all playing chicken. That said, this is a potential. You know, some sources are saying they're likely to have a shutdown just for political reasons. Both the House and the Senate think it would advance their cause if that occurs. That said, I can cash flow manage for the school district when there's no payment in September. That's common, no problems. If the district does not get our October 20th state aid payment per usual, we do have a cash flow issue. So normally we would get approximately 2.4 million in state aid revenue on the 20th of each month, the first payment beginning in October 20th. If we do not receive that by October 23rd, we would have approximately a $1.5 million cash flow deficit. Now this is a potential to happen. I can't guarantee anything. Supposedly if, you know, my sources also say that if a state budget's passed and signed by the governor by the 10th of October, we should still get our payment on time. But obviously I cannot guarantee that. So this is our backup plan. That said, the documents are in your packet this evening. The resolution is in there. I just will note on paragraph 2 that $26,344,502 is our estimated state aid revenue based on the budget that was passed in June. That is not what we are borrowing. We are borrowing 1.5 million, which you can see down in item number 3. But we are buying what this resolution says, saying we're promising our state aid payments to pay this note back. And they just need to know how much we're going to anticipate to get. So that's what that is. And then also in paragraph 1, they need to know what estimated 5% of our total expenditures is. As long as we're borrowing under that number, again, we're copacetic there. So let's just say we do borrow when we don't need it. So we did work with True, our attorney. There's 3 points in times of this time frame that we can cancel it and not take the debt on. The first is, so like I said, the board passes this resolution tonight. It's an amount not to exceed $1.5 million. So if we need less, I can ask for less. But if I'm thinking I'm gonna need the 1.5. Just say you pass it tonight, we go out for bid. We're going out for bid on the 8th. We don't have to request any bids. We could just stop it right there. We're done. We're not borrowing. We don't need to if the state, passes a budget before that point in time. The next point in time was the check period is the bids come back October 8th. At that point in time, again, if we have a board-approved state-approved budget, we can pull the trigger there and not do it at that point in time either. We can just not accept the rates. And then the last one is written in the resolution language that we can back out if we surpassed both those dates. To say, so now it's October 10th or maybe October 15th. They do get their act together, and we get a payment roughly around the 20th. We'd still be okay and we wouldn't have to borrow. Now, don't get me wrong, the 20th is a payroll week for our district. I do need that funds, but I don't need it Monday, the 20th. I need it later in the week. So we got slightly wiggle. So this is a just in case we're hedging our bets.
Kelly, can I ask
Yeah.
maybe one, maybe two questions? So let's say the budget doesn't pass, we get this state aid note, and then it passes so that November's payment is in the clear. Do we get October and November's payment at the same time, or November before, but we
So
get
I've
it all
heard
by
two
then?
different things, and to be honest, I don't know which one's accurate. I've heard that as soon as the governor signs the budget, within 10 days, the Michigan Department of Ed can process the payment and get it out to districts, no matter what date that is. But I've also heard if we miss the October 20th date, no one gets paid till November 20th. Either way, this $1.5 million will cover us.
And we will pay back the 1.5 with
Right,
those
yeah.
payments.
And there's also language in here that just say we do have to borrow and pull the trigger and we need the money. Just like the last time we did the state aid note, I can pay it back early is when we have sufficient funds.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The bid is for interest, the price of the interest
Yes,
rates,
the bid is
right?
for interest rates.
So if that's 5%, that's pretty easy to calculate. What type of fees get tossed in with that?
There's usually not any fees.
No.
It's truly just interest.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's in the bid documents as well, that there's no prepayment penalty fees. It's just, what's the cost of the interest?
How much do the lawyers charge us to draw this up? Because there's some fees.
There's some, yeah, I'll be honest, that's probably a $2,000 to $5,000 bill right there.
Oh, my God.
It's good to
Because
be a lawyer.
our elected officials can't get their act together.
Well, maybe we
Correct.
can just send the bill on to them.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
sure they'll
Yes.
take care of it, you know.
I would vote for that.
So this is going to be happening in probably every district in the state
Absolutely.
of Michigan.
Yeah.
So
It's gotta be 80 or
Yeah.
90% of the districts
Yeah.
on the same boat, right?
Well, when we did talk to our contract at Truman, it was one of those, I imagine you've had this conversation a lot lately. He did say yes, that would be accurate. He didn't give me a number, but he said it's a conversation he's been having.
I mean, nobody's sitting on a big pile of money to fund the district without.
Bluefield Hills,
Any other questions?
Chelsea.
Okay, most of them.
Correct.
So we'll have to suspend rules, right, to vote on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you,
I can
Kelly.
answer? Okay.
No, thank you, it's not your fault. Okay, next is the TLC Community Credit Union donation. That's not any longer Van Hilton, it's Megan Way.
Yes, trustees, I am grateful this evening to announce a generous gift from TLC Community Credit Union to our athletic department, which will directly benefit the development of our athletes across all levels, from our high school teams down to our youngest youth participants who train and practice in our indoor facility, affectionately known as the Barn. TLC's partnership helps ensure that we can continue providing quality athletic opportunities and fostering the skills, teamwork, and character development that sports bring to our students. On behalf of Mr. Hilton and Tecumseh Public Schools, I want to extend our heartfelt thanks to TLC Community Credit Union for their support.
That's an incredibly generous gift. That's something we appreciate and accept many thanks for sure. The barn is also, if you don't know, that's where there's a lot of, I know baseball and softball, other sports go in there as well, and they can train during the winter. What you don't probably know is there's no running water in it. That's also where, at home football games, both teams have to go out to that barn because we don't have any locker rooms. There's no running water. Last I counted, there were 5 porta-johns there for, when Chelsea was here last week, 100 ball players. Doesn't include the coaching staff. When I was the AD here, it was embarrassing. We were the only school in our conference. If it is just a barn, that's great, but can it have toilets and running water? I mean, it's primitive, to say the least. I mean, it's embarrassing. I wish there was something we could do about it. There's really not much we could do about it, but the fact that that TLC's helping us with this, and I don't know if that's money's going for the barn. Is that earmarked for just the barn?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's nice, and it's a great gift, but just to point out, I mean, we got that nice big stadium, and when we have inclement weather, like when I was AD, we had a severe thunderstorm watch. Do any of you guys ever know who Albert Flores was? He got hit because people panicked. There's a severe thunderstorm. It's dark. He's out there with a light, and we're trying to get kids up to the school, not to the barn, because that wouldn't stand up very well in wind. So all these kids are weaving. Parents are freaked out, I guess. He ended up getting hit by a car. I mean, he's got his light, but it's a mess. We need something down there, and it's certainly we don't have the money. When we're talking about, we don't even have money to make payroll with what the state's doing. That's not going to get it fixed, but it's an incredible risk.
Step in the
my
right
opinion.
direction,
It
for
is.
sure.
What's that?
It's a step in the right
It's
direction.
a step in the right direction, but it's so for using that as that facility, it's great. But when you have football teams here, like Friday night with that many people, it's not a good fit, not a good look. That's an ad lib, but it came to my mind, and knowing that Chelsea had 65 people on their team, just do that math with 5 porta-johns. All right.
What was the value of that donation?
That I don't know. I think it was 25,000, but I'm not 100% sure.
I believe we'll have it on the
Yeah.
action item.
Okay.
Oh.
I-
I heard this. Oh, it doesn't matter. Josh
I
is
thought
up.
it was 25,000. Does Kelly know? Was it 25? Do you know?
Okay. All right, moving along, Tecumseh Community Memorial Pool, Josh Madison. It's gonna be Josh Madison Memorial Pool.
This evening, as we reported last time, you guys have on your agenda tonight for action item to approve the next phases of selective demolition and testing for the community pool. So I'm here tonight. If there's any further questions after our discussion last week, I'm happy to answer any other questions before you have action tonight.
This may be more of a question for Kelly, but when do we get our sinking fund payment?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question louder?
When do we get our sinking fund payment?
So the sinking fund, dollars have started to trickle in, and if you recall, we also did a tax anticipation note for $950,000, so, we have those funds available as well.
Any other questions? All right,
Wow, you,
you get out of here early.
yeah, you're.
There you go,
Thank you, though. And then next, the TPS Board of Education norms is Vice President Davis.
Okay, so you all have in your packet the final slide of this presentation. Revised norms for voting. So the norms that are italicized are the ones that had changes from our previous norms. The first one, we in our role, making sure that we added community, TPS, staff, and families to the norm. So this was about our behavior towards one another. So we in our role as board members commit to treating one another, our community and TPS staff and families with dignity and respect. We engage with authenticity, sharing our ideas, challenges, and feelings openly and genuinely with each other. The next 3 norms are no change. We project the image that we expect in our students and staff. Once we vote, we speak in one voice. The board president is the official voice of the board. And then we added some expectations about data and evidence to understanding topics prior to voting. So all members seek to understand topics prior to voting, carefully considering relevant data and evidence to inform their decisions. And then the last norm hasn't changed. When we have concerns, a member should speak to the superintendent prior to the meeting to seek understanding. So we'll vote on these tonight. And if they're voted in, we'll get them updated on our website, et cetera, for the public to see, so.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to action items. We need to suspend our,
So I'm going to make a motion to basically suspend our rules for all of our discussion items tonight, it appears.
No, we discussed TPS Board of Education norms last meeting And the community pool. We typically don't suspend for donations,
Okay.
but if you want to, that's fine. I'm just saying.
Everything on the discussion item is on the action item, so.
Okay, go ahead.
So I make a motion that we suspend for this evening our rule that we discuss one night and vote the next for all of the items on our action items.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to suspend our, you just said it, our
Policy,
policy, so we can go ahead and
start to say our norms.
approve these tonight instead of having our normal discussion and action item process. Did you make a motion to do that? It was seconded?
It was seconded.
Okay, I didn't hear the second. So it's been moved and seconded to do that. Roll call vote. Trustee Simpson?
Aye.
Trustee Davis?
Aye.
Trustee McGee?
Aye.
Trustee Martinez?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
Trustee Brooks.
I also vote aye.
Sorry. You said it, so I figured you were voting for it.
I know. All right.
Okay, so we can vote on the state aid resolution.
Whereas, under the terms of Section 1225 of Act 451, Public Acts of Michigan 1976, as amended, a school district is authorized either by achieving qualified status as described in Section 303, Number 2 of Act 34, Public Acts of Michigan 2001, as amended, and upon receiving prior approval of the authorized representative of the Department of Treasury to borrow money for school operations and issue its notes therefore, pledging for the payment thereof monies to be received by it from the state school aid fund, which notes shall be the full faith and credit obligation of the issuer, and the estimated amount of each state aid appropriation allocated or to be allocated to this issuer is $26,344,502 for fiscal year 2025 through 2026, of which the amount of sum of zero has been heretofore distributed and received, leaving a balance of $26,344,502 as the estimated amount remaining to be distributed to the issuer pursuant to Act 451, and the issuer has immediate need to borrow the sum of not to exceed $1,500,000 to pay current operating expenses for fiscal year 2025 and 2026. And the principal amount of the notes payable from the undistributed balance of the appropriations allocated to this issuer for said fiscal year, which have heretofore been issued and are now outstanding, is zero, and 5% of the estimated fiscal year 2024 through 2025 operating expense is $1,651,743, and the process of soliciting bids by publishing a notice of sale in a publication as specified in the Section 309, Part 2 of Act 34, Public Acts of Michigan 2001, as amended, is prohibitively more expensive than negotiating the sale of the notes defined below to a bank or financial institution or obtaining bids through the distribution or solicitations of bids. Now therefore be it resolved that the issuer, that's where I can stop? Just a moment, getting some clarification. Oh, perfect. I thought I had to read all 3 pages. Apparently I do not. Fabulous.
I bet you're heartbroken.
I am.
We all are.
Stuff it, Tim.
Second.
Can I ask a question, Kelly, before we vote? If we have to borrow this money, and if we only have to make one payment, do we only get, and can we return the remainder of that money without paying interest on it, do you know?
So the funds would come in October 21st, and again, if the governor signs something and we get our funds prior to that, I don't have to take it at all.
Good.
But, let's just hypothetically say the governor doesn't sign a budget until October 20th. And so then 10 days later, there's October 30th, and I don't get money until then. Well, then I would have utilized some of that $1.5 million.
So then if we, I don't know how much.
It's not in any set increments.
Okay,
It's
okay.
just, I have to pay the district has to pay $1.5 million back by June 30, 2026.
Okay,
There's no prepayment penalty.
okay,
And there's no prepayment penalty.
okay, gotcha. Okay, any other questions? Are we ready to vote?
You
Okay.
seconded?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, roll call vote. Trustee Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee McGee.
Aye.
Trustee Davis.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and I hope we never have to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Action item 2.
I move to accept with many thanks, and deep appreciation, the generous donation of $25,000 from TLC Community Credit Union to the athletic department.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the $25,000 donation from TLC Credit Union. Roll call.
Can I make a quick comment before
Sure.
we do that? I just want to make sure that we record the amount of that donation at our next meeting if possible. I think there was some clarity issues in the community around what it was for and how much it is, and so I just want to make sure that that's clear at our next meeting. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll call vote. Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee McGee.
Aye.
Trustee Davis.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Many thanks too. If you look at how much money we get donated to our athletic program, our arts program, the music program from the various foundations and just benefactors that we have, I mean, we're worried, money's an issue, but when we get those donations, that stuff, it doesn't have to come out of our operating money that we have to cover that. So it's really it's a great thing. It's a blessing for the school district.
Absolutely.
Do we really need a motion on the Tecumseh Community Memorial Pool?
Apparently we do.
Yeah, it's over.
I move to approve the work to be done on the pool to determine the depths of repair that are needed.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to
It's a pool, so we said depths. I like that.
approve the motion for the Tecumseh Community Memorial Pool so that Matt can go ahead and get all the work in that he needs to make sure that he's got good intel on the structure. Trustee, roll call vote. Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee McGee.
Aye.
Trustee Davis.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
All right, and lastly, under action items, I move to approve the Board of Education norms as discussed and presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the TPS Board of Education norms as presented. Roll call vote. Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee McGee.
Aye.
Trustee Davis.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda, which includes minutes from the regular Board of Education meeting of September 8th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda from last September, the last meeting we had. Are there, September 8th, is there anybody else, is there any other questions or concerns? Okay, roll call vote. Trustee McGee.
Aye.
Trustee Davis.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The superintendent report, as we mentioned earlier, has been stricken for right now. When Matt gets back, he'll take care of that. Item scheduled for the next agenda. And it's as usual as on the 13th, but Matt Hilton will have good news discussion items and then action items as well. That brings us to board member comment and discussion. Are there any comments or discussion tonight?
Yes, I have two comments. One, I think, related to items related to the sinking fund, it's important that we do vote on each one of them because it is the public's money and we made some proposal of how we would plan to spend it. So probably the majority of those items, including the testing that we're doing, go over our bid threshold. So just something to remember as we move forward. The second thing I wanted to bring up is I don't know who was at the football game on Friday. I know Mrs. McGee was there as well. I wanted to recognize sources of strength and the students that went out on the field at halftime and raised their hands to the mental health issues that they are currently dealing with. So in today's society, and any day of our society, that is not easy to do, and young people did that in mass and together. So it was a tough football game. We lost to a tough component, but I think at the end of the day, we're winners because our students are standing with each other and have no shame to share their challenges and struggles. So I just thought that was a really powerful demonstration. The stadium was pretty quiet. Previous years with sources of strength and suicide prevention, the stadium has not been quiet during that. So I also give them a lot of credit for finding something that would kind of make people listen to the issue and pay attention. But it was very moving, and I'm really impressed by all of those kids.
Outstanding.
I saw there was a board out here from it too.
Anybody else?
I just wanted to clarify about the pool that we voted on. By going forward with that, we are selecting the bidders for DKI International and Seaway scaffold and equipment, in case that was a question, for around $67,000, which was under the expected budget for that.
So as I recall, we approved that last week.
We discussed it last week, and that's what we're approving today.
Last week, wasn't
Was it?
Yeah.
It was a discussion item at the last board meeting.
Oh, that's right. Josh didn't want us to put it on action. That's right. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, there wasn't a need to because of the.
Thank you for the
Right.
They weren't
clarification,
gonna get here
Mrs.
that
McGee.
soon anyway, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else? I have something else. Mrs. Foley, to the podium, please.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
You getting called to the principal's office?
No, that wouldn't, she wouldn't be, she was used to that. That wouldn't bother her. I would say it breaks my heart to see you leave, but you're going to, you've done an outstanding job. Our history with each other. We began as middle school teachers here the same year, 1999. I was her mentor teacher, and look at me now. And look at her, and you can see who was the most difficult. I aged a lot more than she did for obvious reasons. We did start teaching in 1999, but I had a 10-year head start on her. When I was here, I just couldn't make up my mind I was going to be a teacher, a principal, teacher, principal. I kept waffling back and forth. She was a fresh face then. She was expecting her son then, and I remember those things. And I never had the privilege of working with her at that point because I taught 8th grade when it was at the old high school, which is now the middle school, and she was at the old board office, which is now about condemned. And it was in better shape before she came too. I did, over the years, beg, plead, starting when I was interim superintendent, to get her to come back here. I lost. Hilderly won. But eventually what happened was the district won, because you've done an outstanding job here. Like I said, it's hard to see you walk away, but I fully understand why you do it. And that has the support of your husband as well, who's one of my buddies. He wasn't even on the scene then, but she chose wisely. That was maybe one thing I did mentor to help. So I again hate to see you leave, but I mean with winged feet, go off and do great things. Anybody else have any words for Mrs. Foley?
I speak as a parent, not as a board member, but Kim, thank you for all of the guidance and help for Miss Molly and Miss Kaylee. You have advocated for them and all the children in our district very, very well. And before you came back, it was a struggle. So thank you so much. It was a struggle in general as parents. I can't say that because there's somebody else at the table that helped a lot at Sutton. Megan Way. But thank you so much for your service, because it truly is what you are doing is a vocation and a service. And I just want to really, you're still part of Team Molly and Team Kaylee. So you'll get that invitation when the graduation happens.
I just want to say that this district is so supportive of students with disability. We're so inclusive. We have great educators. We have great special educators. And so they really made it easy for me to do my job. And thank you for all the support you've given me as a board as well. Appreciate all of you.
I would like to say a couple words, if I could, about Kim.
Absolutely.
Okay, I wrote something. All right, when I think about Kim, a few words immediately come to mind. Hardworking, kind, compassionate, and motivating. These qualities aren't just words on a page. They've been the foundation of how Kim has shown up every single day. In her role as a teacher and more recently as a director of student support services, Kim's impact has gone far beyond the classroom. She has supported teachers, families, and students in deeply personal ways, listening, guiding, and ensuring that every child has a chance to succeed and that every teacher has the tools and resources to help them do so. Her dedication has built bridges, created opportunities, and left lasting impressions on so many lives. Kim's work ethic has inspired us all. Her kindness has created a culture where people feel supported. Her compassion has touched countless lives, and her ability to motivate others has made us better, not just as professionals, but as people. I can't look at you, Kim. Kim has achieved so much during her time here at Tecumseh Public Schools, often in ways that happen quietly behind the scenes. She's developed processes and procedures that have streamlined the district's programming and ensured compliance, making a lasting impact on how we operate. Beyond that, she has been a true champion for our special education students, including providing experiences such as peer-to-peer programs and unified sports and Special Olympics. Not to mention her passion in supporting the well-being of our staff. Many can attest to the benefits of her famous yoga sessions or her personalized workout routines, and I'm still mad about my 4-minute kettlebell exercise you make me do in my routine. Okay, so while we'll miss her presence in the office, we know this isn't goodbye. Kim, we are so grateful for all you've given to Tecumseh Public Schools and to us personally. On behalf of everyone here, thank you, Kim, for your dedication, the laughter, the wisdom, and the heart you've shared with us. We wish you nothing but happiness in your retirement. Congratulations, you've certainly earned it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't trip.
Don't do that.
I can't look at you.
Thank you so much. How about if we get a picture with the board with Kim?
That'd be nice.
Can we do that?
Sure.
Any other board member comment? That's, Been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All in favor say aye.
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 Meeting adjourned.
6:44.